Hello and welcome to God's Minute. I'm Pastor Jonathan Conrad, the senior pastor at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Wilmington, North Carolina. Today we are going to touch on the final three visions from the first 8 chapters of Zechariah. Today we get a flying scroll, a woman in a basket, and 4 chariots. Now that sounds like a party. So let's dive in. Vision 6. Again I looked up and saw a flying scroll, and he said to me, "What do you see?" I answered, "I see a flying scroll." Then he said to me, "This is the curse that goes out over the face of the whole land. For everyone who steals shall be cut off according to the writing on one side, and everyone who swears falsely shall be cut off according to the writing on the other side." Vision 7. Then the angel who talked with me came forward and said to me, "Look up and see what this is that is coming out." I said, "What is it?" He said, "This is a basket coming out." And he said, "This is their iniquity in all the land." Then a lead cover was lifted, and there was a woman sitting in the basket. And he said, "This is wickedness." So he thrust her back into the basket and pressed the leaden weight down on its mouth. Then I looked up and saw 2 women coming forward. The wind was in their wings. They had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the basket between earth and sky. Then I said to the angel who talked with me, "Where are they taking the basket?" He said to me, "To the land of Shinar, to build a house for it. And when this is prepared, they will set the basket down there on its base." Vision 8. And again I looked up and saw 4 chariots coming out from between 2 mountains, mountains of bronze. The first chariot had red horses, the second chariot black horses, the third chariot white horses, and the fourth chariot dappled gray horses. Then I said to the angel who talked with me, "What are these, my Lord?" The angel answered me, "These are the 4 winds of heaven going out, after presenting themselves before the Lord of all the earth." He said, "Go, patrol the earth." So they patrolled the earth. Then he cried out to me, "Lo, those who go toward the north country have set my spirit at rest in the north country." So Vision 6 is a scroll with 2 sides. Now, one side talks about stealing and the other talks about false oaths. The scroll represents the 8th and 9th commandments, and I'm going to put those here on the screen for you just to remind you of what they are. And the scroll is addressed to the violators of these commandments. Now let's tie this into the 7th vision, the woman in the basket. The woman is named wickedness. It's a personification of Israel's sins. Now let me say this about wickedness being a woman. There is a part of Christianity that likes to blame everything on women. Adam was tempted by Eve. David was tempted by Bathsheba, just to name a few examples. And there has been a lot of theological association with women and sin. This is wrong. In our passage, 2 other women show up, and they represent the wind, and they send wickedness back to Shinar. And let me connect to the 8th vision. The first vision of Zechariah had 4 horsemen. This vision has 4 chariots. And just like the horsemen watched for peace, these chariots now send God throughout the world. God's reach is infinite. So how can we connect these 3? First, our life and blessings depend on us following the commandments. Now, God did not give us pick 5 of these 10 rules and follow them. God gave us 10, so we should follow all. When we follow all, our lives are blessed because our focus is on God, our family, and our neighbor. Second, Shinar represented Babylon, in particular, the Tower of Babel. And what God is saying is that as Israel rebuilds its nation and its temple, the Tower of Babel will crumble. The tower will be no more, and those who are scattered are now invited to come back and be part of God's new city. And third, God's presence, God's grace covers all, east, west, south, and north. Why is the north significant? Because back in Zechariah's time, the north represented the enemy. And yet God's reach even is found there. God's attention is on the enemy as well as the friend. So our life and our blessings depend on us following God's commandments, all of them. We also get to see God's restoration and how it is to bring everybody back. And God's grace does cover everybody, including those that we call our enemies. So if we are to follow all those commandments, I think we're going to have to treat everybody a little bit better. So thank you very much for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow for another edition of God's Minute. Take care and God bless.